Hello there, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Shibu John from Toronto, Canada, on the 9th of October 2025. This morning, we are going to meditate from Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 28. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 28. By faith, Moses kept the Passover and the sprinkling of the blood, so that he who destroyed the firstborn might not touch them. By faith, they passed through the Red Sea as though they were passing through dry land, and the Egyptians, when they attempted it, were drowned. Our focal point for today's meditation is accepting God's provisions, or how to accept the provisions of God. When the time came for Prophet Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, everything on the human level said it could not be done. King Pharaoh was not about to let 2 or 3 million slaves just pack up and leave. It's not an easy thing, because from where will he get that number of people to work for him for free? His formidable army was ready to ensure that no such exodus occurred. They are not going to send them free, because they need these people. They need the Israelites as slaves. Nobody is there to question them. No questions asked, no answer given. But when God devises a plan, He always makes the necessary provisions for carrying it out. His strategies are totally different. Nobody can think or imagine in their wild dreams like the way God does. On this occasion, His provision came in the form of 10 terrifying plagues designed to change the mind of King Pharaoh. Exclusively designed to change a powerful emperor. The 10th and the worst plague was the death of all the firstborn. It created a bazaar in the country, even from the dungeon to the palace. We read that in Exodus chapter 11 and verse 5. To protect themselves from this plague, the Israelites sprinkled the blood of a lamb on the doorposts and lintels of their homes. When the angel of death saw the blood, he passed over that house. And thus, the Passover was instituted for the first time for the glory of God. It was a very powerful operation planned by heaven. The blood from those first Passover lambs had no fundamental or intrinsic power to stave or strip off the death angel. There is absolutely no fundamental or intrinsic power. But its presence demonstrated faith and obedience, and thus symbolizing the future sacrifice of the Son of God, Jesus Christ. We read that in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 29. It symbolized the future sacrifice for the mankind, once and for all, through His Son, Jesus Christ. King Pharaoh got the message and allowed the Israelites to leave, but soon afterward he changed his mind and commanded his army to pursue them. That was the foolish decision Pharaoh made in his life, I would say. He lost everything literally. Massive army, powerful army in the world in those days. You know what? Again, God intervened by parting the Red Sea, allowing his people to walk across on dry land. He then drowned the entire Egyptian army when it followed the Israelites into the sea. That was a classic demonstration, or let me put it in this way, that was a graphic demonstration of a lesson every believer must learn. In my life, I have experienced such provisions of God, interventions of God, I would say. God's provisions are always the best. Nobody can beat that provisions. They may sometimes seem foolish to the human intellect, just as the word of the cross is to those who are perishing foolishness. Apostle Paul wrote this message to the believers in Corinth. We read that in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 18. The word of the cross is to those who are perishing foolishness. But the man or woman of faith trusts God and receives his provisions gratefully. So this morning, let us thank our Lord for the wise and gracious provisions he has made for our salvation and our ongoing victorious Christian walk. Remember, the man or woman of faith gratefully accepts all God's provisions, no matter how pointless some of them may seem. I repeat that one more time. No matter how pointless some of them may seem. Have a very blessed day and God be with you.